shockingly, I had a scuffle with one of the higher ups.
Oh,
A
interesting.
difference of opinion. I
Okay.
don't remember if I mentioned this in the first podcast, but basically, I was a programmer, and I was programming some stuff with Excel, Microsoft Excel,
Mm-hmm.
and the computer. I didn't save my stuff. I spent like 4 hours working on a project that I was given by my higher up, and I was working on it for like 4 hours, 5 hours. The my superior told me that that I'm needed on the floor, that I need to do manual labor, and I said, could I please save, or could I just finish up some like touches on my programming? And my supervisor said, no, we need you right now, it's an emergency. So I didn't argue. I immediately went out there, right? And I spent like several hours, working on the manual labor, working on the floor. And once I was finished, I asked my supervisor, listen, I finished all my work. Can I please go back to my desk and work on my programming? And my supervisor, they said, they said, sure, sure. So I'm literally walking to my desk. I'm proceeding to walk out of the floor and back into the office area to like start working again. And my supervisor calls me back and says, no, we need you again. And that made me upset, because my supervisor said I was allowed to leave and go back to my actual work, but they asked me to come back. So I did, once again, not arguing a single thing. When I eventually got back to my desk, I lost all my work. And I
As it
don't
would
I
happen
I
naturally.
don't know if someone shut down my computer or if something happened or if it crashed. I don't know what happened. I just know that the 4 hours of work I did was lost, and I tried recovering it, but I couldn't recover it. And that's, amateur mistake for a programmer, which I haven't made since. Always save your work every like 5 minutes. But and I was upset, and usually when I'm upset, like genuinely upset, not like mildly annoyed, but like actually feeling angered or upset, my face usually I make a face. And
Yeah.
not like to make a point, it just happens because I'm genuinely feeling like something bad, stupidly bad has happened to me for no good reason.
Mm.
And my supervisor saw me like this, and I explained to them what happened, and they didn't care,
Mm.
and they said I was behaving poorly. I didn't say a single thing. I was just making a face, and they sent me home. They sent me home, even though it was like almost time for me to go home anyway. The My supervisor made me go home, like
Mm-hmm.
on their command, and I was worried because when I went home, I was thinking, oh my god, am I a bad employee? And one of the first things I googled is signs like you're a bad employee. I was those signs, thank God, but that didn't help me because I got in some form of trouble with my higher up, and I was panicking. I'm like, am I gonna get fired? Is something bad gonna happen? Is my entire relationship with this person ruined? And what I did was I came in like early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, to the office, and I waited for my supervisor to come in, and I asked them politely, "Listen, can I have like 10 minutes to talk with you about yesterday?" And my supervisor said, "Yeah, that's fine." And we proceeded to talk, and I cleared the room. I was just telling my supervisor, um, "Listen, I know that I made a face, and I apologize, and I'm really sorry for doing that, but you have to understand that I lost a lot of work on the project you assigned me, and that was a really frustrating thing, and it wasn't your fault, but because you made me go on the floor, I wasn't able to like resolve the issue, or whatever happened couldn't have been resolved, and I might have saved all that work." And naturally, I was upset, and I pointed all this out, and I said, "Listen, I know once again I got mad, and that is my fault, but I want you to hear my side of the story and understand, like, also the way you were speaking to me was very sharp, very, I don't know if aggressive is the word, but very very much like like I was
Condescending in a way.
condescending maybe, but like sharp, very like
A
cutting,
little too blunt.
blunt. I don't think blunt is
No.
the word. It's like very demanding, I think,
Okay.
is
That's
like,
fair. I think I
but
get it.
like unfairly demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like I asked politely, please, can I go back to my desk? I finished all the work you gave me. It's like, yes, sure. And then immediately after, it's like, no, we need you back here. Come here. And I'm just like, okay, I didn't like that,
Hmm.
but I didn't say it at the time. But I
Hmm.
said to her in a very polite way. It's like when you said it that way to me, it didn't feel very. I didn't feel very good. I think you could have maybe said it a little better. And ever since, and my supervisor agreed that my supervisor said it was a stressful period. It was like the end of the month, which is very busy for our company, and they admitted that yeah, that was probably not the most professional thing to do. And ever since then our relationship was good. And but that only happened because I went out of my way to say, listen, can we please just have a moment to talk? And I want to emphasize, like, I spoke with my supervisor, but I did not like point fingers. I did not put blame on anyone. I was not being aggressive. Like, I wasn't playing victim. I wasn't saying you were bad, you were treating me poorly. I was just being very, very honest, not playing the blame game, not playing the victim game, not playing the culprit game, just simply saying the truth that something bad happened to me, I didn't like it, and top that on, no, put that on top of being spoken to in a very aggressive manner. Did not just that didn't sit well with me, and my face made it very clear that I didn't feel good about this. But after doing that never happened again. So
It's a good story.
this convoluted story, the message is, just speak, be
Yeah.
honest. And I don't mean like use your voice like, oh, you need to fight the power, you need to fight everything. It's like, no, just speak. How can someone improve if you don't tell them, listen, you did something I didn't, that I think you could do better?
Yeah.
It's like,
Totally.
and listen, to all the people who work office jobs who have higher ups, you might have a jerk as your supervisor or your manager or whoever. That might be true. That the person in question, he or she, is just a horrible human being. That, no, it's possible. In which case, no amount of you being the good guy or girl and saying, listen, I don't like the way you're behaving,
Yeah.
that could happen. But in this situation with me, that wasn't the case. All I had to do was like be honest, be polite, and just tell the truth. And my supervisor understood and learned from it, and so did I. I never made a face ever again, and my supervisor never spoke to me in such a poor manner ever again. But, that only happened because I spoke. What if I didn't speak? Then my supervisor might look at me as like an emotional wreck or
Yeah.
something.
No. Totally.